Okay, I got some more information. I just got this too. This is an old video, but it resurfaced for some reason. I guess it was hidden. But let's get into it. It says Heaton accuses Kanye, what's the boy name? Kanye and Diddy of sexual assault, assaulting her when she was 19. Let's get into what she has to say.
I do that. Mm, how do you how do you add a moderator? I don't understand. Come on. What? Bruh. I like never do live, so I don't understand how to do this.
Okay,
How
I'm
do
gonna
you add a
skip over because she
moderator?
don't know what she's doing, y'all. Let's skip
Uh,
over.
it's not working. Um, and I went into depth to
Okay,
depth
let's
like
go
a
back
little bit, and
just
I
a
was like,
little bit. We
yeah,
want to
like
get all of what this lady has to
asking
say.
like what, like what's going on with you? Like why? It's still
Okay.
not working. Okay, you know what? I'll try again later. So I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. Uh, so you guys know, like I posted, I posted a while ago. I did like a Q&A, right? And people were asking like what's going on with you? Like why did you fall off? Is the music industry as evil as people say it is? And I was like, it's more evil than religion. And I went into depth to depth like a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I was like, oh wait, hold on. Let me add a moderator because this is gonna be crazy. There we go. Cool. Um, I was like, yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. I got out when I could. Uh, I was like lucky enough to only be like assaulted like twice, and I was fucked with more than that, but it was two times that truly like left like an impact on me, and people were like, oh my god, like only twice, like stop diminishing what you went through, like no one should go through that, and I'm like, yeah, all right, and I was never actually going to tell this story like ever. I was going to kind of like go to my grave with this because in my perspective, it's like, what's the point? Who would believe me? What good would it do? I don't have proof. I'm not going to file anything. But because of recent events and the things that have come to light quite recently, I felt the need to kind of come on here, and I felt like it was my time to kind of just tell. And it's pretty much one of the reasons that I lost a lot of my love for music in that sense, like making it public in that sense. So if you have been paying attention to what's going on, like like Diddy has gone down, like shit's coming out about him. It's kind of like irrefutable proof of the evil shit that goes on behind doors. And if you've noticed, people are accusing Kanye now of the same type of shit. And my old manager, Lauren, has kind of been the whistleblower on the shit that he's done. And I was going to say her. I'm very, very proud of her. And I'm so glad that she's stepping forward and kind of saying what's going on. And again, I wasn't going to say anything. And then I saw that, it became public. And I clicked on one of the posts that were saying, like, oh, Kanye's ex-assistant is coming forward and saying that, sexual assault and all these things. And I was like, yeah. And then I looked at the comments, and it was like, she's a fucking liar. Like, none of this is true. She's doing this for money and clout and all this. And it made me so mad. It made me so fucking mad. And I, like, started to comment. I was like, you know what? Let me stop. So basically, I'm telling this story now because, like, you guys know me. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm out of the industry. I left LA. I'm in like the middle of fucking nowhere, on a farm. Like, what could I possibly gain from this, right? Like, I don't care. like, I'm not filing any sort of suit, so, like, I'm not getting money from this. And you know that, like, I always tell the fucking truth. Even if it makes me look bad, like, I'm very, like, brutally honest. So, me coming here and saying all this, if you've seen the posts about the assault suit or the misconduct, anything like that, like, and if you see the things about, like, oh, she's lying, I'm here to say, she's not. She's not. Every single thing that she said in that lawsuit is 100% true. And I know that because not only have I seen all of the evidence firsthand, but I was actually there for one of these situations. And this was one of the things that made me want to leave and back out and get out. And if you know, like my day one fans, they've always wondered, like, what happened with you and LP? My friends didn't know, like, what was the falling out? And there was a falling out, and a lot of it was just, we were in two different places, there was a lot of things going on, and me, personally, like, I had reached that point because of the shit that happened to me where I was fucking done. Like, the industry had almost killed my love for music because of what I had been through. And I had lost my love for it. I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. And, you know, she is more of a businesswoman, and she wasn't done, and so there was a falling out, but and she had to keep going. Sadly, she figured it out on her own. So let me just tell you guys the fucking story. So, like I said in my one post, like, I've only been assaulted twice. This was one of the two times that kind of changed the trajectory of my life and my career. So I was 19, and if you know anything about me, I, you know, went viral at 18 on World Star and then on YouTube, and, like, kind of rose to fame really quickly, and I was doing rap, so a lot of rappers were reaching out to me and asking to work. Sorry, real-time feedback right now. Yeah, so all of a sudden, like, people were reaching out and wanting to work, and I was 19 years old, like, I had just left home, and working with my manager, and we were in LA and doing all these crazy things, and all of a sudden, I got a call one day, and it's like, hey, like, Kanye wants you to come to the studio. And we were just like, what? Like, Kanye knows who I am? Like, what? This is crazy. So we go, and this happens, like, multiple times. Like, you can find it if you go back and find headlines, you'll find proof of it. Like, we were working with Kanye, and he was like, I know what you're doing in your new music. Like, I want to hear your tracks. I want to play you mine. I want to know what you're doing with this fashion stuff, because, like, your style is, like, so fucking cool. And if you go in deep dig enough, like, he said it publicly, like, you and LP were, you know, the muse for Yeezy season 1, because, like, he went back and asked, like, oh my god, you guys are, like, so fucking cool, like, you wear, like, shapewear is real clothes, like, that's so dope, like, blah 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 blah, and, like, had his people go through my wardrobe, and he wanted me to be the model for Yeezy season 1, and I went and I flew there and I did the shit, and I was like, I'm not fucking doing this, like, there was something just not right about it. Anyway, every time we would go to the studio with him, it was like, yeah, he wanted to work on music, but there was something just, like, fucking weird about it. Like, he would pull up his laptop and he would have, like, bookmarks of all of our pages and, like, our Instagrams, our Snapchat, Twitter, all of that, and, like, our pictures saved. And even I'm still getting DMs from people in the industry, like, you know, like, me and Kanye used to sit in the studio for hours talking about you and your manager, like he was obsessed with you. And I was like, whoa, okay, crazy. Anyway, back to me being 19 years old. This was probably the last time I went to the studio. We got a call. It was late. We were living in LA. And we get a call, and it's like, hey, like, Ye wants you to come to the studio. And we're like, cool. Like, why? And he's like, he wants to work on music. And we're like, that's great. And so we go. And it's, like, somewhere in LA, some studio we've never been to before. And we show up, and we walk in. And it's, we're there to work on music, right? Like, that's why I'm here. And we walk in, and it's Kanye, and it's Diddy. And a couple of people that we know, men, work with Kanye, Kanye's engineer, and Kanye's cousin. And we walk in and we're like, okay, cool. And it's immediately I was like, there's something not right. There's something not right. Because we walk in and there's 9 other women there. And don't kill me for this, because this is what they call them. There were 9 studio hoes there. Like, I'm all about women's rights, do whatever you want to do, but don't shoot the messenger, that's what they call them. Women who show up to the studio in their full club outfit at the studio. It's like, they're only there for one reason, who's there. And they're called studio hoes, that's just what they're called. And there are 9 women there, and we're like, that's weird. I thought we were here to work on music, and like, we were invited, like I was invited as an artist and my manager. I'm wearing like fucking double XL sweatpants and like a giant hoodie. I look like a fucking slob. And like, you know, my manager's there in her usual suit, like black leggings, black zip up. Like, we're just like, this is strange, but okay. And we walk in and there's all these ladies there wearing their club gear, and Kanye and Diddy are already like out of their fucking mind, just like completely fucked up. Drunk, but probably something else. And we're like, okay, but like, we were invited as artists. Like, maybe these girls are gonna leave and we're gonna work on music. Like, let's just walk in and just, yeah. Immediately, I felt like there was something weird, because, you know, there's always drinks, there's always, you know, the vodka and the mixer is just like sitting on the table. But we walk in and immediately Diddy hands me a drink, Kanye hands Lauren a drink, and we're like, that's weird. Like, why are they serving us? And I don't like to drink. Like, I don't like alcohol. I don't like the way that it like makes me feel. It makes me feel sick. So, but my manager, since the beginning, she was just like, I know you don't like to drink, but if someone hands you something, even if you don't want it, just like hold it and like pretend. Okay, and it was like a vodka cranberry. Oh, gross. And so I'm just standing there with my back against the console, just like pretending to sip this drink. And I'm like, I'm not fucking drinking this. This is gross. And my manager was sitting across on this couch with Kanye's cousin, and then the other girls were sitting next to her. And immediately I was like, there's something fucking wrong. Like, I couldn't explain it. I didn't know what to do. But I just like felt that there was something not right. But I didn't fucking know what to do. I was 19 years old, like just left home a year ago, new in the industry. Yeah, I didn't know what to do, but I knew that there was something wrong, basically. And I was standing there pretending to sip this drink, and my manager was across from me. And, you know, if you know about like my past being together, like, she's very much reserved. And people would always say, like, oh, she's such a bitch, she has like a resting bitch face. And it's because she has like a severe like social anxiety, like, to like sit in the corner, tap on her phone, and like not talk to anyone. So she's not a bitch, she's just very shy. And I see her across the room holding her drink, and it was weird because I was standing there just kind of just like wondering what's going on. Diddy kept looking at me, and Kanye kept looking at Laura, and like they were exchanging glances. They're like watching me strangely. And I'm like, okay, let me pretend to drink. And like, I'm not actually doing it. And like that seemed to like make them happy, like me like pretending to like join in. And immediately I'm like, there's something fucking in this drink. There's something in this drink. And I didn't know what to do. And I like, my manager was like across the room, but close enough, but like not next to me, so I couldn't like whisper to her. But I wanted to tell her, I'm like, hey, don't fucking drink this. There's something wrong with this. But I couldn't. So I reached for my phone and I start to type, and Kanye takes the phone out of my hand. And he's like, who are you texting? Like, you don't need to text anyone. Like, we're having a party. And I was like, okay. And he like puts it on one of the speakers. And I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. And I see my manager, and I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do? And then I see her take another sip, 2 sips out of this little vodka cranberry cup. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? 2 sips, and I watch her face flush. And all of a sudden, Like, I look over and she's speaking really loud and, like, making jokes. And I'm like, whoa, like, this isn't her. Like, she doesn't make jokes. She's fucking terrified of people. Like, she doesn't even talk. And I was like, it's already hitting her. Like, 100%, I just knew that the drinks were all laced with something. And she starts, like, almost being, like, belligerent a little bit, but not in, like, a crazy way, just, like, really enjoying herself. And I'm like, that's not her. That's not her. She doesn't even want to be here. Like, this is weird. And all of a sudden, she, like, dismisses this. You can leave. And I'm like, oh my god, like, what's going on? And the girls file out. They go to, like, a different studio, or they go somewhere. And I'm like, I have to do something. I have to do something. What do I do? And I go to get my phone where Kanye put it on one of the speakers. And as I'm going to get it, I turn and my manager's walking out. And I'm like, no. Like, where are you going? I'm already seeing, like, this app. What do I have to gain? Let me just ask you, what do I have to gain? I'm in a fucking farm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not in the industry anymore. I'm not filing a lawsuit, so I'm not getting paid. I'm not looking for clout, because who gives a fuck about me? So why would I lie about this? This has been 9.5 years since this happened to me. Why would I? Let me go on. I don't, whatever. Yeah, so I see her start to leave. And I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, it's fine, I'm just going to the bathroom. And I was like, no, stay. And she's like, it's right there, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay. And she walks out. And all of a sudden, I realize that I'm in this studio. The music's low, the lights are dim, but you can still, like, see everything. And I realize that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye, and they're both off their shit. And there's 3 other men, an executive that works with Kanye, his engineer, and his cousin, and me, alone. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. And I haven't started freaking out yet. Like, I know what the situation is. I know, I know this is a bad place to be in, but I don't really feel scared yet, you know? There's people around, there's other men around, and I know them. Like, I've known them for a while. Like, nothing bad's gonna happen. And I'm standing there, and I realize that so this is, like, a pretty, like, sizable studio. There's, like, the glass doors, the couch there, a console, another console, the screen, all of that. But it's, like, it's pretty big, but you can still see and talk to everyone easily. And I realize that I'm standing really close to the exit, and it's a glass door, and it opens in. And I'm standing pretty close. I realize all of a sudden that Kanye and Diddy have realized that I'm the only girl in the room. And they're like, fuck. And they start coming towards me, and they're like, don't you want to take your clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, fine. I'm fine like this. And they're like, come on, like, it's just us. Like, we're all just friends. Like, let us just, like, see, like, how you look. I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And, like, I still haven't gotten scared yet, you know? Like, I'm still, like, this is a out, but, like, there's no reason to panic. There's other here. Hold on a second. That's on the feedback. Yeah, so they're coming towards me, and I'm like, okay, this is fucked. I don't know where and they're coming towards me more, and they're trying to, like, take my clothes off. And I'm like, at that point where I'm like, this is not good, but I'm, like, still trying to, like, play it off. Just like, stop, you guys are fucking stupid. Like, get out of here, like, don't touch me. Like, a little bit scared. Did this just freeze? Okay, so let me just get to the point. They start trying, like, they're, like, pawing at me. Like, they're both drunk, probably on something else. And I start to get a little bit apprehensive, because I'm pretty much, like, backed up against the wall. Like, there's only one exit, and I'm pressed up against this door. And I'm still not completely terrified yet, but like stop. And they're getting to the point where they have like ripped my shirt off, and like I'm like almost fully exposed at this point, and they're both coming at me, and I'm like, you guys, like seriously, this isn't funny anymore. And I look to my left where his executive is. Like we know him pretty well. Like we've been around him a lot. He's literally 3 feet away from me. Like if I reach and you shoot, like we could touch. Like he's that close. And I look and I'm like, hey, like come on, like step in. Like this isn't cool. Like you're a grown man. Like you're like 50 years old. I know you have a family. Like you know this isn't right. Like do something. And this is the part that for as long as I live, I will never fucking forget. It isn't actually the aspect of being sexually assaulted. That's not what haunts me. It's this. It's as these 2 grown men were pawing at me, trying to take my clothes off, I look over to this man asking for help, and I really mouth the word help. And we lock eyes. And he looks away. I'm like, okay, there's 2 more men in the room. And I look at his engineer next, who's sitting right next to him. And I know that he's married, had a little baby girl, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something. And I look at him next. Do something, say something, do anything. And he looks down at his phone and starts texting. And then I was like, oh fuck. I look at Kanye's cousin next. Do something, you know, like fucking do something. And he spins his chair around. And that's when that like gut-wrenching fear set in. And I was like, oh shit. No one's fucking saving me tonight. No one's gonna do anything. No one's gonna do anything. At this point, they had ripped my shirt off, and they were trying to get my pants off. And I realized that I was completely alone. And I closed my eyes for a second, and I was like, God help me. What do I do? And as my eyes were closed, this is going to sound weird, because I bet a lot of you are wondering, like, how the fuck did you get out of this situation? My eyes were closed, and I prayed. And I said, God help me, what do I do? And it was like clear as day. I heard this in my head. And it didn't make any sense. I heard, go towards them. And I was like, oh, fucking great. The one time I asked God for help, Satan answers, because why the fuck would I go towards these 2 predators who are sexually assaulting me? Like, why would I do that? And then all of a sudden it clicked. My back was up against the glass wall. I could not go any further back. That was the only exit. He said, go towards them. They were already drunk off their shit. They were fucked up. So I lunged forward. I stepped forward. And it like threw them off balance. Like they were like, oh, you know, and like they stepped back at least 1.5 feet. And the moment that they did, I pulled the door and I slipped out, grabbing my clothes. And I ran across the hall, across this corridor, and I hid inside of an empty studio that was black. And I sat there for like 20-25 minutes, just like crying, like what the fuck? And I'm texting my manager and she's not answering. And eventually, and I don't think I'm supposed to say this next part because it could hurt her case, but basically, everything she fucking said is true, basically. Because what I saw next, I saw it. I was the only one who wasn't drugged. I was the only one who didn't drink their drinks, whatever it is. I was the only one. So I saw what happened next and who was involved. And that's why I'm a part of this lawsuit and like named in it. And yeah, it just, I mean, I eventually I got us both out, and I got us in an Uber, and she obviously didn't remember anything because she was drugged, and I wasn't. And apart from the aspect of, you know, looking for help in a way, the only other thing that really, really fucks with me is, what about all those other girls that were there? Those 9 other girls who were drinking the drinks before we even got there. Like, I know none of them got out. I know none of them got saved that night. And I'm like, did they even fucking remember? Did they even know what happened? Moral of the fucking story, stay out of the industry. If you have daughters, make sure to tell them that they're idols. They should never meet and should never fucking go to the studio with anyone, even if you're invited there as an artist, unless you have a bodyguard with you. You know, I thought I'd feel better after telling that story, but I really don't. But I guess the point is that, I mean, the same shit happened with Cassie. As soon as she said what happened, no one believed her, and they gave her so much shit, and it wasn't until videos came out.
Okay. Now, I didn't sound like they sexually assaulted her, though. She was saying she got out of there and she still had her clothes on. They was trying to take her clothes off. So I don't know, you guys. Yeah. So let me know. And then her manager leaves her. And that wasn't cool. So yeah. You guys, comment below. Let me know what your thought is. And yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in.